Hello everyone, welcome back to Cades and Trading. It is January 17th, 2025. It's Friday, and I would say it's a pretty good day overall for the stock market. I'm going to do my watch list walkthrough, daily thing, and start with everything. I'm going to go through the entire list because maybe I can impart some wisdom on some of the stuff here that I'm seeing. Who knows, but hopefully this will resonate with someone out there. So starting with Boyle. So Boyle yesterday crushed it. And this is one that I would not have bought yesterday because the uptrend has been going on for so long. And this is sort of what you would call a blow off top where it just went up so much. This was up over 10% yesterday on pretty good volume, a little bit above average. So more often than not, when you see something like that, usually the next day, it's not going to continue. I've gotten burned so many times when I was less experienced with this sort of a thing, where I would see a bar like this and get really excited and be like, oh, this thing's going to keep going up. More often than not, it doesn't. It does something like this. So it's still in the uptrend. This could end up just being a pullback, but for now, I would avoid this, especially since it had this great run already. So, and again, Boyle is one that's just super volatile. I mean, this is crazy movement. Overall, it's been up, but this is tough to sit through. All right, so moving on. FD is a short Ethereum ETF. It's not really doing much of anything. It's kind of down. So avoid that. SBIT, this is a short Bitcoin ETF. I would avoid that. SOXS. Looks like SOXL is really turning the corner and starting to come up. So I would be avoiding this. Interesting how it has these little waves of downtrend to uptrend. Very, very volatile. The movements aren't huge, but it's just like a sideways meandering down thing. Definitely something to avoid. Yang, down today. Not a lot of movement on it, so that's one I would avoid as well. SQQQ, down today. Looks like all the bullish stuff is starting to come up. You can see most of the stuff that's in red is the bearish side. SLV was down, and that's actually bullish. And then Boyle, I consider a bullish ETF, but it's contrarian. It basically does the opposite, where when the market is up, Boyle is down. All right, so moving on. Tech S. Tech S is meandering down, just like all the other bearish ETFs, just kind of falling. Avoid that. FNGD, same thing, just avoid that. WebS, these are all the same. Like they're all kind of doing the exact same thing. SPXS has a little bit more movement, but again, it's the same overall pattern. These are all avoids. FAZ, down. GDXD, down. SLV, it's down. Has this little uptrend, but there's nothing interesting going on here. It has some sort of kind of an upward channel here, though. I can kind of see just at a glance. So maybe it'll continue on in that channel, but it's not for me. ERY, oof, look at that fall. Good God, that's ugly. ERX has been really crushing it. It's inverse, so makes sense that this would be looking so bad. LabD has looks like it had a decent day. It's only at 0 right now, but it's been weird. Like it's green on all of these days, but hasn't really made any progress. It's kind of stalling. I would avoid this. The only way I would be getting in and out of this is if I was buying it one day and selling it the next. And to be honest with you, that's probably going to be my bread and butter for a while. When the market doesn't seem to know exactly what it wants to do, I tend to be very safe. Buy something at the close, look for it to go up the next day. If it doesn't, hold it until it does, and then just get out with a decent gain. Doesn't have to be huge. And I'll get to that in a minute too, because I did that today. TZA, falling, avoid. DRV, same thing. This is kind of an ugly mess. You can avoid that. PMV had these nice uptrends, falling now. Up today, well, it looked like it was up today, but I guess it's not. And not worth buying. DRN, I mean, it's barely up. This is not something I'd be interested in. TMF, turning the corner, trying to come up, but has a big downtrend to overcome, so I'd avoid that. Labu, the opposite of LabD, but just not worth trading at all. It's so far down in this downtrend, that's ugly. TNA, trying to start turning the corner, it looks like, but who knows? This thing has been such a mess, like really difficult to figure out what it wants to do. ERX, the darling of the ETFs lately. It just keeps on going up. And like I say, every single day, I really wish I didn't sell this the other day, but you know what? Live and learn. And I don't hate it because I did make money on it, so, can't complain. GDXU, the idea is to avoid being greedy, Take what they give you and be happy. GDXU kind of stuck down here. I wouldn't be touching that. FAS, I bought this yesterday and I sold it today. These things that you're seeing here are based on an account if it had $100,000 in it. So it's showing that if you bought this for $163.30 yesterday and you sold it for $167.37 today, which was the most recent trailing stop amount, then you would have made $4,200. Not bad. So that's what I look for. I do kinds of things like that. Like if I go to the 5-minute chart, I ended up selling this morning. It was definitely premature. I believe I sold it here, if you can see my cursor. And I did that because on my 5-minute chart, this bar crossed below the EMA ribbon entirely. And so I said, you know what? I have a decent gain. I'm just going to cash out. That's it. Take the money and run. It's still worth buying now, though. And if I didn't sell it, I'd be fine. I'd be happy to hold it. K-Web. Nice update today. Came down a little bit, but it's starting to get there. I mean, I don't think it's going to do anything like this where it was skyrocketing before, but it's nice to know it's starting to come up. I don't think I would be buying it now, though, because there's other stuff out there that's better. WebL. Up a little bit today, but closed with a doji. I'd be a little concerned about that. I would avoid it in favor of something better. FNGU. It's trying to turn the corner and come up, but it's still in a downtrend. I would wait to see it try to cross over the 21-day simple moving average, see if this trend can turn blue, and then probably look to be buying it. Just depends on the action, because typically these days, when this one is up and this one looks good, it's my #1 choice for what I want to buy, because it's basically consisting of the strongest stocks in the market. SPYU gapped up today, reached a high, fell back down, closed with a doji. Wouldn't be so sure about this one yet. And this is why I'm getting in and out of the market quickly, because you never know. Each day is so crazy. ZSL, inverse of silver, coming down. Would avoid it. TechL, up a little bit today, another doji. Boy, and maybe it's because it's Friday, maybe because it's Martin Luther King Day is Monday, so we have a long weekend. Maybe there was a lot of selling going on. People want to enjoy the long weekend, not have money on the line. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just speculating. TQQQ, nice gap up today. Came down a bunch, filled its gap, and then came back up. Bit of a doji. How did the 5-minute look on this? Yeah, not bad. I mean, it's, nothing crazy. Pretty well behaved. So it's not bad. It's another one like FNGU. I'd keep an eye on it. Might be worth buying early next week. Yin, coming up a little bit. It's all like K-Web. Not my first choice. SOXL, this had a nice day. I hate that it has this sideways action going on, and it's been like this for so long. I really want to see it break out of this and just like have a huge green bar that just like, crushes everything, high volume, everyone's in on it, everyone knows it. Like that to me would be ideal. And that would be a situation where it's like, okay, now we know semiconductors are back, let's go. When semiconductors lead the market, it just seems to be easier for bulls. It just works out that way. I don't know why, but it's just the way it tends to be. MSOX up a bunch today. You can't really tell. But yeah, I would not be touching this. The trend down is just so huge. Would avoid it. ETHU, nice update today. Really pretty strong day. Has this crazy downtrend coming up, back down. Maybe it'll start turning around. This looks like a double bottom. You got this bottom action here and then more of a bottom here. Let's see if we can start ramping up. This would be worth taking a shot on. I didn't buy anything today because I ended up selling the 2 ETFs that I owned, so I'm waiting until next day to be able to buy anything. BTIU, this is the other one that I had, and I got rid of it this morning as well. Came down a little bit. It was nice to wake up and see the gap up. I mean, it's always nice when you wake up and you don't have to do anything and you have a nice gain. Going to the 5-minute. This was another one where as soon as it was like coming down a little bit, I think even this one I got really early. I saw this bar. This is at 9:40 in the morning, so I should have waited a lot longer. But I got out of it because on this bar, it was coming down a bunch, and I just didn't want to see it kind of fall down more. I wanted to take it was less than 5% gain, but it was, at least it's something, when you have a lot of money on the line, 5% is a lot of money. We're talking like 6 figures and, you know, more. So, yeah, once you start putting that kind of money on a trade, you know, you want to cash out when you have small gains. You don't want to see that go negative, because then it becomes hard to sit through. But anyway, if I had sat through here and held onto it, it would have been really nice. I probably would have known enough to get out in this area. And that would have been a nice gain. It would probably have been double what I ended up getting. Or I could have held on, saw that it was, you know, being really good, because the daily chart looks great. You know, the 5 minute, I'd probably be better off not even looking at the 5 minutes, to be quite honest with you. And just watching the daily for the most part, because there's nothing wrong with this. There's no reason to sell it, right? It did come down towards the end of the day. It's a Friday afternoon. Like I said earlier, people are probably selling because of the long weekend and whatnot. But I don't see anything wrong with this. At least that's the bullish and aggressive side of me. But the conservative and bearish or safe side, you know, the one that wants to lock in the gains as much as I can, would be looking at this and seeing this part coming down here and saying, who knows? You don't know what's going to happen when it's down like this. You could just keep on going down. Or up here, if I was willing to sit through this a little longer, and then down here, chances are I would not be holding this anymore. I probably would have gotten out probably around here, like 61.70-ish. Just seeing this kind of coming down and knowing it's the end of the day, and just thinking, you know what? I don't want to have to worry about anything over the weekend. Sell it, take my nice gain, and move on with my life and be happy. Moving on to cold. Cold is the inverse of boil, so it was up a good amount today, even though it doesn't look like it. But yeah, it was up 14% because it came way up from the lows from yesterday. But it's still very much stuck in a downtrend, so I would be avoiding this too. So for today, I don't think there's anything that I would be saying is a new buy. I could argue that BITU would be worth buying again. ETHU would be another one, although I'd prefer stuff in an uptrend than a downtrend. SOXL is very intriguing, except it closed at a support and resistance area that I don't like. FNGU is one that I wouldn't be buying yet, but I'd be keeping an eye on it. ERX, I mean, it's just nonstop. A little risky now because it's so extended, but if you're the type of person like me where you just want to buy it, see if it goes up a little bit above your buy point the next day, and then cash out. Get a, you know, couple few $1,000 gain or something on it. Why not? Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, so the market's closed now. It's a little after hours on Friday, so I will be checking back again on Monday and looking at the close of that day to see if there was anything that I decided to buy. And remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just kind of showing you how I look at the charts day to day. I am by no means a long-term trader, as you can see. I mean, I buy things one day and sell them the next. Not really day trading either. At least I don't consider it that way. I don't buy intraday and sell intraday. I've tried doing that and I got burned so bad, so I avoid it now. But yeah, that's it. So if you like this content, you're getting anything out of it, please remember to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Tell anyone you know who's interested in learning this stuff, man. I'm going to be here every day. So thanks, everyone. See ya.